And we are live. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Fox to Fox Report. Welcome for the pre match review for tomorrow's fixture. Big match. Honestly, for me, the big match of the year, just seeing how far we've progressed in this cup. Getting to the quarterfinals, the last time we were in the quarterfinals was back when we won the cup, back in 2021. So it's been a long time since we reached so far in the FA Cup, but we've just have played surprisingly well just in this cup. Can't say we played well during the season, during the league, but whatever, it's a different competition, and somehow we just go in with a different performance. But pre-match review: Chelsea versus Leicester City over at Stamford Bridge, where right now at the moment we have nothing to lose, but Chelsea have all to lose. They have not been playing well. They are just kind of like us. Their performance has just been inconsistent. They can't seem to find a somewhat of a chemistry when it comes to trying to play with each other, passing the ball. They seem to lose it on their end. So it's something that we had to take note of and perhaps can fall in our favor if we go in headstrong, play absolutely different compared to how we played against Hull City. So we'll have to see, what performance we come out with tomorrow. But like I said, Chelsea's performance at the minute has been horrendous, and this is the only cup that will save them to kind of say that they had an all right season. Once, if they are out of this cup, then that's it. I'm assuming they're going to sack Pochettino, but whatever. That's all for the Chelsea fans to talk about. But for us, do we go all in for the cup? If we still had that large gap in the league, I'd say let's go all in. But at the moment, we're kind of just seeing, all right, do we want to put in all of our starting players that we normally play in the championship for this FA Cup match? You know, it puts our players at risk for injury. But I think the one thing that kind of helps us out is that after this match, we go on international break. So we're off for about a week and a half. And so I think that does give us some leeway in playing some starters, or pretty much just going all out, at least for this fixture against Chelsea. But let me go ahead first and just give me 1 second and take a look at our current schedule at the moment. So where is Chelsea? All right. Okay. So we are right here as it is. Chelsea tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we play Bristol after international break on a Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, like I said, we have international break after this fixture against Chelsea, so it does give us some leeway in Bristol City, Norwich. We do have games about, I want to say, 2-3 days apart. So we also have to take that into consideration, that once we're done with Chelsea, once we come back after the international break, we're going to have a pretty hefty schedule, and against opponents that, frankly, we tend to struggle with, at least with Norwich. So we'll have to see then. And also today's fixture, I think, with Ipswich, with Leeds, also take note of that. Perhaps by the end of this weekend, we may drop down to second or third place, depending on how those results fall. But if they fall in our favor, then that's something also to be looking forward to, going into Bristol City with a much more, I guess, calmer mindset. But going into Chelsea, how have they been doing? Newcastle, this match they had this week was pretty interesting. Chelsea took the lead, but the first goal was, some would say, was kind of lucky. Then Newcastle tie it, and it kind of seemed like Newcastle was going to take over and turn over that match. But Chelsea went ahead and scored two more. Newcastle almost get close to finishing the match with a draw, but Chelsea just came away with those 3 points. Brentford 2-2, and then the match against Leeds. That was quite a very, very struggling match for Chelsea. They just somehow found a way to beat Leeds, but even Leeds gave them a hard time, even scoring the first goal of the match. We know they lost the final against Liverpool over at Wembley. 1-1 against Man City. Beat Crystal Palace, Chelsea. They beat Aston Villa. They beat the Wolves. I mean, they lost to Wolves. So it's been, like I said, quite inconsistent with Chelsea. You don't know what side you'll get. But going off the match against Newcastle, you can see that they struggle. They struggle for chemistry. They lose the ball in the back, similar to how we've been playing, where we would try to play off the back, but somehow we would lose it, whether it be Hermanson trying to pass to Fast, trying to pass to Vestergaard or James Justin, and we just wouldn't find that connection and end up giving an opportunity to the opposition to score a goal. So if we can pick up on that, I think that is something that's going to benefit us. But going now back into who we have available for this fixture. And Maresca said in his press conference, injuries, Vardy, McAteer, and Ricardo. Just going off Vardy, how Maresca said since the match against Sunderland, how he kind of felt quite of a soreness from that fixture, then kind of playing him against Hull City. Though he scored goals in both matches, I think even though if he was available for this match, I'd rest him. So thankfully, it's not a big injury, just a small minor thing that just needs time to rest, and we'll be perfectly fine coming back from the international break. So that's good. Casey McAteer, Maresca said, is probably the only player that has probably the long-term injury. Could be back after the international break, could not be, but we know that Ricardo will be back after that international break. So it's kind of see what players can we replace? Do we have replacements? Yes, of course. But I think at the moment Vardy is the prime player to be kind of keeping safe and just not risk him too much. Definitely shouldn't be playing this match. So yeah. Going into the fun stats, we haven't lost a match yet this season while wearing our away kits. So the light blue stripe across, we haven't lost a match yet wearing that jersey. So playing over at Stamford Bridge, hopefully that record stays as it is, and we keep on winning. But what do we want to get out of this match? So based off what we've been watching so far, is that our performance just hasn't been great. Our creativity hasn't been great. We just haven't been able to kind of break that barrier when it comes to oppositions playing 5 in the back. Mavididi, Fatou, these players have just been trying the same moves, the same ideas every single match, and always the opposition always have been studying them and just kind of reading them, and it just hasn't been effective in our favor. So the best thing we can get out of this match is new ideas. Let's see what they can do, especially against a side like Chelsea, a Premier League side, and a big test for our wingers, for Mavididi, for Fatou, very quick players, very skillful players. So let's see what they can do against a Premier League side like Chelsea. But that's pretty much, I say, that's what we want. A good performance, a performance that says that we're kind of slowly getting back into that chemistry, finding new ways when it comes to an opposition closing us down with 5 defenders. Maresca is honestly just trying to get the best performance out of the squad. Yep, same thing. Maresca is just trying to see what he can get out of the squad, and just going off the press conference, he's not looking too far ahead into this competition. He's just kind of taking it game by game and trying to put the best squad he can out there and see what happens. And of course, if we are able to go ahead and qualify for Wembley into the semifinals, then you're kind of going in with a different mentality on actually trying to win the cup, but we're not there yet. We still have to take into account that we still have the league to win. That's not certain yet, so we're kind of just playing with the options that we have at the moment. What is your starting lineup? So, going into that starting lineup, like I said, Vardy, whether he's injured or not, I mean, he shouldn't be playing this match. Keep him safe as possible, rest him. Definitely shouldn't be playing this match. But who comes in his replacement? Is it Daka? Is it Cannon? Or is it Kelechi Iheanacho? For me, I think those options, the next in line, go from Kelechi Iheanacho next, then Cannon, and then Daka. Daka has not been performing well whatsoever. His style of play just hasn't been implemented in this type of style that Maresca wants to play, nor have I seen him be as effective. The only thing he's been doing is coming back to defend and take the ball away, but that's about it. You know, his through ball runs just haven't been what it has been before, and it's just he hasn't offered anything else. He can't kind of play a different style for some reason, and I think it just makes that position useless. So we got to have someone who can play that position and then hold the ball, and that's Kelechi Iheanacho. Especially, you know, as we know, Mr. Senior Man Kelechi, this is his competition. This is his tournament. He knows how to play, or he somehow appears during these matches in the FA Cup and just scores 1-2 goals, assists. So definitely it's his time to shine. So let's go into the starting lineup that I have predicted that I want to see for tomorrow's fixture over at Stamford Bridge. Now, we take into account with the same formation that Maresca has been going with, and that is a 4-2-3-1. Stolarczyk, have no problem whatsoever having him start. Honestly, he's been a great keeper for us, especially that he hasn't been playing that many matches and probably has more clean sheets than Hermansen. But like I said, he hasn't played that many matches as Hermansen, but still has proven himself to be a quality goalkeeper. On the left, Doyle. And yes, that's one change. So him and James Justin, he just hasn't been the same player he's been 3, 4, 5 years ago. You know, he hasn't been that player that's been making those runs alongside his left winger. Shooting on goal. Yes, he had a great goal in previous matches before where he scored, but just hasn't been that effective. And when it comes to passing, especially those long balls, Doyle has been that player to do that. Same thing with Vestergaard. I don't think I've ever thought I would say this, but Vestergaard has been the best player. I'm pretty sure everyone else can agree that he has been an effective defender, probably our top defender at the moment. So I would 100% play him. Fast, you could say, whether it be Fast or Connor Cody playing in that position. I think just based off, you know, it being Chelsea, having more minutes, Fast probably would be the best option. And on the right, there frankly isn't anyone else. You know, we don't have Ricardo. I mean, you could have put Ben Nelson, but I don't even think, you know, he's right in that position. Yeah, I think who has more experience is Chowdhury, so I would put him there. And of course, your defensive midfielders, Dewsbury Hall and Harry Winks, no debate there. And left wingers and right winger, right winger, Mavididi and Fatawu. So going back into seeing, you know, what I want to get out of this match, I want to see what Mavididi and what Fatawu can do against Chelsea. I want to see what Mavididi can do with his, you know, his skills, his crossovers, his cut-ins, cut-outs, if that can be as effective as he does in the Championship. If it doesn't, then if he can't do anything, then frankly that kind of raises questions on whether, you know, he'd be a good suit for us if we were gets promoted into the Premier League. You know, would he be that starting player like he does now, like he has now. Fatawu, same thing. I think he's been more effective, especially coming down the line, up and down, up and down. Um, he's has been all and out right winger, but Mavadidi, great in attacking sometimes, but when it comes to defending, he'll probably start like the first 15 minutes coming back, but after that, you don't see him as much coming back down to defend. And that's one thing that Maresca pointed out. He has to be much, much more effective in that case. And of course, Wilfred Ndidi taking that center midfield position. Maresca did say he is great. He is, slowly getting back into it, and probably, I think he'll give him the chance to start tomorrow against Chelsea. And of course, up top we have Kalichi and Nacho. That is the second string goalkeeper after Vardy, and a player that can hold the ball, a player that can make runs at times, but certainly one to protect that ball and wait for support to come. I always say that. Kalichi Nacho has the strength, has the power, and you never know when or how when he'll turn up in these big important matches. But that is my starting lineup. Let me know what you guys think regarding this lineup. Is it a good lineup? What will you change? And the changes here are 4 changes. We have Stolarczyk, Callum Doyle, Ndidi, and Kalichi Iheanacho. So, going into, spelled that wrong. Give me 1 second. Score predictions. What are your score predictions going into this fixture against Chelsea? Well, it's definitely going to be tough. 2 teams that right now at the moment are under a little bit of pressure. Chelsea, their last resort in getting something out of this season. As for us, it's just performance. We're probably, like I said, we're taking this match as a chance to try to get better and kind of show us, the fans, that we're working on it and just playing the way we played earlier this season. So it's definitely going to be a very, I think, 60-30 comparison. Chelsea being 60% and us being 30%, but it's still going to be close. Or 40%, it's going to be close. So I say the most, if we were to somehow qualify into the semifinals, it'd be a 2-1 victory for us. And like it's going to be a very head-on-head match. So that's pretty much what my prediction is. Let me put it in right now. Okay. That is my prediction. Chelsea 1-2 Leicester. But yeah, that's I think a much more reasonable and realistic result. Who knows what could happen? We could win 3-0 for all I know. But that's all I have for this pre-match review. Let me know what you guys think. Score predictions, your starting lineup. What can we or should we get out of this match? Put it all in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.